Her message came at 2:14 a.m., a single line. Cold, surgical. I'm done with this marriage. No explanation, no hesitation. Just the digital equivalent of a blade across the throat of 12 years. I stared at the glowing screen while the ceiling fan hummed above me like an indifferent witness. My chest didn't tighten, my hands didn't shake. Not anymore. Because the truth was simple. I'd felt her leaving long before she wrote the words. Still, seeing it spelled out felt like stepping into a room that had been burning for months, only now noticing the flames lipping the walls. I typed back, "Works for me," sent it, locked the phone, rolled over. But sleep didn't come, not because I wanted her, but because endings like this, they're never really endings. They're beginnings disguised as collapse. Something had pushed her to send that message at 2:14 a.m. Something or someone. And as the silence of the house grew heavier, a strange calm settled inside me. Not grief, not fear, just a sense of confirmation. A puzzle I had ignored for too long had finally revealed its corner piece. And I knew, with a cold certainty, that everything after this night would unravel exactly the way it was meant to. The next morning she packed in silence. Soft movements, avoiding eye contact. Like a thief who didn't want to startle the owner as she emptied his home one drawer at a time. "I'll send the lawyers the paperwork," she murmured. Sure, my voice sounded like it came from someone else. Smooth, even, detached. She hesitated at the doorway, keys trembling in her hand. Not from sadness, but from guilt wearing the mask of resolve. I watched her leave. The door clicked shut. And the quiet swallowed everything. But the details, the small things, were louder than ever. Her late-night showers she never took before. Her phone suddenly face down, always. Her new perfumes that never smelled like home. The laughter she gave someone else, too freely, too brightly. I told myself I wasn't the jealous type. I wasn't, but I wasn't blind. I just needed proof, a part of me still wished didn't exist. The first real sign came 2 days later when I dropped by her old office to pick up a few documents she'd forgotten. Her coworkers exchanged glances, tight, knowing ones. One woman offered a hesitant smile, too sympathetic, too aware. It wasn't confirmation, but it was enough to tell me there was something to confirm. I walked back to my car feeling like I had stepped into a shadow that had always followed me, only now choosing to speak. She wanted out. Good. But I wanted the truth. And for the first time in years, I wasn't afraid to look for it. I started with what I could access legally: phone records, shared financial accounts, travel logs from work. Everything painted the outline of a secret life emerging beneath the surface. A recurring number she called late at night, never saved in her contacts. 2 hotel charges on nights she swore she was working late. Receipts for dinners for 2. And then, the flights. She had taken a conference trip last month, except the airline confirmation showed the seat beside hers had also been booked, paid with a different card, different name. Mail. I stared at the printed records on my kitchen counter. Not angry, not broken, just awake. Awake in a way I hadn't been in years. I moved out the next week, somewhere quiet, somewhere clean, somewhere she had never touched. She didn't ask where I went. Of course she didn't. Guilt doesn't chase what it's already abandoned. My investigation became routine, a cold ritual. I traced the number, found an address, found a name. And with it, a connection I didn't expect. He wasn't some stranger. He was someone she once introduced as a colleague she barely spoke to. Interesting. I didn't confront her. That would give her control of the narrative. Instead, I waited, collected, verified, built a truth no one could deny. This wasn't impulsive revenge. This was clarity. Sharp, measured, inevitable. Each step closer to the truth felt like tightening a knot around something that had been loose for too long. And the best part? She didn't see any of it coming. The final confirmation arrived on a Thursday afternoon. A private investigator's report, photos, dates, times, her, him, hotel room doors, hands intertwined, a kiss in a parked car at 1:47 a.m. I sat at my dining table, my new one, at my new place, and flipped through the pages slowly. No shaking, no tears, just silence. A silence that felt like stepping into clean air after living underwater. That evening, she texted me, "Can we talk?" I invited her over. When she walked into my apartment, she froze. Like the unfamiliar space unnerved her. It should. It wasn't ours, it was mine. "Whose?" she asked, noticing the second wine glass on the table already set. "Dinner guest," I said. Then I slid the file toward her. "Before she arrives, you should see this." She opened it. Her face blanched. Her throat tightened. Her lips trembled around words that refused to form. I can explain." "I know," I cut in. "That's why I'm not asking." Her eyes filled, not with sadness, but with fear. Fear of losing control. Fear of exposure. Fear of a truth she thought she'd buried under lies. And then the knock came. Right on time. She turned toward the door, confused. Who is that?" I opened it, and the last person she expected walked in. Her lover's wife. Calm, composed, carrying the same file I had, the same evidence. My wife's breath hitched. Her knees buckled slightly. This wasn't revenge. This was revelation. Two betrayed spouses, side by side, united by the quiet devastation of truth. My wife looked between us, panic rising like a tide she couldn't stop. Why would you bring her here?" "Because," I said, pouring the wine, "I prefer honesty at my dinner table." Her lover's wife sat across from me, steady, understanding. My wife remained standing, caught, cornered, cracking. "This isn't fair," she whispered. "It's not supposed to be," I replied. "It's supposed to be accurate." She broke then, not loudly, not dramatically, but in a collapse of realization. She had lost every angle, every lie, every escape. And I didn't raise my voice once. She left without touching her glass, didn't say goodbye, didn't ask for forgiveness, just staggered out like the truth had hollowed her from the inside. The door closed. Silence returned, but this time it felt clean. The other woman and I finished dinner, two strangers connected by betrayal, sharing the strange relief of knowing the worst had already happened, and the truth had set us free from it. When she left, I cleaned the table slowly. No shaking, no heaviness, just clarity. The kind that only arrives after the final mask falls. I walked to the window, looked out at the quiet street, and felt something I hadn't felt in months. Control. Not over her, over myself, over my story, over the ending. And when I finally turned off the lights and let the darkness settle, one final thought crossed my mind. Losing her wasn't the tragedy. Believing her had been. And I slept. Deeply, silently, absolutely unburdened.